Hey y'all, welcome back to DC Motorworks. My name's Cameron and here I'm in a 2014 Rolls-Royce Ghost that came in for a few problems we were having, and I just wanted to show you around and show you what we did to get it fixed for this client and the background of how it got here. Let's get started. Alrighty, so as I'd mentioned, this is a 2014 Rolls-Royce Ghost that came in for service. This client actually had it at another shop local to the Atlanta area, and he called us because he was quoted, I think it was somewhere around $10,000 to fix his air suspension and his air conditioning. So when we got the vehicle, the air suspension was sitting on the ground, wouldn't pump up, wouldn't do anything, and was a pretty uncomfortable ride for him to bring it here. And the AC just wasn't cooling. So he wanted a second opinion and brought it here. And we were actually able to get this job done for under $1,000, as what was quoted isn't what we found wrong with it. So he was originally quoted an AC condenser and every hose just about in the air conditioning system. There was like 5 or so hoses that were quoted. And he was also quoted a very expensive passenger front air shock. But as soon as we got the vehicle, we noted that it wasn't pumping itself up. We actually had no response from the level control switch as well. So here we are in the interior. Turn on the ignition. And here is your level control switch. And this actually was not lit up, wouldn't respond to any touches or do anything. So the first step was to make sure that the air compressor for the suspension system was functioning properly. So we were able to hook up our scan tool and actuate it. We found that it did make pressure, and once we did that and activated the compressor, the vehicle started to level itself out. But we still had no automatic control. Everything we had to do, we had to lift it manually with the computer. We had to lower it and adjust everything manually. So what we ended up doing is just checking all of our actual values and seeing that just all the sensors were reading properly. We had pressure in the system, which we did. So nothing made sense. But what we ended up doing was essentially reinitializing the system, and all we can think of is maybe somehow it got put into some kind of what they call like transport protection mode, or something along those lines. So now we have full functionality of the air suspension system, and actually we've let it sit for multiple days and the ride height doesn't change at all. So we told him, go ahead and save your money on the shock, and we can do other repairs or other things that it needs. And as far as the air conditioning, I'll go ahead and pop the hood here and give y'all a look. So this is the N74 twin turbo V12 from BMW. But when we checked out the air conditioning, we did see it had a code that the compressor was being shut down due to a vacuum in the AC system. So we vacuumed it down and saw that there was no Freon in the system. I think there was a couple tenths of a pound, but nothing substantial. Went ahead and recharged it. Everything started functioning properly. We added dye to the system as well so we could verify if there were any leaks. We traced all around the condenser here in the front end. So we even drove the car a couple days, put some miles on it with the customer's permission, just to cycle the refrigerant and make sure there was dye throughout the whole system. And still came back and found no obvious leaks. Suspension is working properly. So we were able to save this client thousands of dollars by properly diagnosing his car. So to conclude here, we just wanted to share this with y'all as we know, the people that own cars like this, one of the big fears is maintenance and repairs. And, as soon as, unfortunately, some places see the badge on the front, or, they say, oh, these people have money. I can make some money off of them. And it's not the right thing to do. So what we like to do here is diagnose the problem correctly. It doesn't always have to be that negative. It may not be the shop's just looking to get money out of them. It may just be they're not familiar enough with the cars, or they're just trying to cover all their bases. It doesn't have to be a completely negative experience, but with something like this, you want to take your time and do things correctly, and that's one of the things we take pride with. And all the vehicles we work on is we try to treat every client the same and give them all the same experience, regardless if it's a entry-level car or something as high-end as a Rolls-Royce. You want to treat them all the same, and that's what gains you continued business, especially in this high-end world. Word of mouth goes a long way. So thank you all for watching, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Goodbye, peasant.